In this playlist, we have learned many and types of matrix: addition, subtraction, and multiplication of matrix, then properties of matrix, transpose, determinant, minor, cofactor, and adjoint. We look at inverse, then we look at method of solving simultaneous equation. This video, we are going to solve some questions that covers all of these things. Okay, so make sure you watch this video to the very end, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel and click on the notification icon to get notified when I release videos like this. All right, without further ado, let's solve the first question. This is the first question, which is find the non-zero positive value of x which satisfies the equation. We have x1 0 1x 1 0 1x. How do we solve this? It's very simple. Everything here is equals to 0. If you have watched my video or you know this, I explained that when you see this symbol like this, it's talking about determinant. Okay, so which means you want to find the determinant of these elements. So you are finding a single value, a function which is a single value of all these elements of matrix, and it will give you 0. So without wasting time, let's quickly solve it. So let's have our solution here. The first thing that you need to do here is to find the determinant of the expression. To do that, you have plus, minus, plus. This is 3 by 3 square matrix. Okay, so you pick the first one, which is your x, multiply it by the determinant of this square matrix. You eliminate this one over here. Okay, so which means you have x, you find this x 1 1 x, you close it. So the minus sign for 1, you have minus 1, so you find the determinant when you eliminate this. So you are left with 1 0 1 and x. So you have 1 0 1 and x here. Then the last one, which is plus 0, so you eliminate this one, so you have 1 0 x 1 here. So without wasting time, you find the determinant of this. So you have your x outside, you open bracket, x times x here, so you have x squared minus 1 times 1 here, 1. Okay, so minus 1, you open bracket, 1 times x here, you have x, 0 times 1 here, minus 0. Everything here is 0. So, and it should give us what? 0 here. We just need to expand this guy. When you expand it, you have x times x squared, you have x cubed minus x here. Then you have minus 1 outside here. When you multiply it by this one, you have minus x, which should give you 0. Okay, so let's just have this thing like this. The next one is you have x cubed minus 2x is equals to 0. We have combined this and this, minus x minus x, that's minus 2x. To solve this is very simple. You just need to factorize this guy. Let's factorize this. Bring out your x, bring it out, you're left with what? X squared minus 2 should give you 0. Now what is this statement saying? So it implies that what? X is equals to 0, or x squared minus 2 is equals to 0. So let's solve this guy. To solve this guy without wasting time, we just need to do what? Transfer 2 to the other side. X squared is equals to what? You add 2 to this side, you add 2 to this side as well. So this one we cancel. You have x squared is equals to what? Is equals to 2. So that implies that you raise the power of the left hand side by 1 over 2, you raise the power of the right hand side by 1 over 2, so you are going to have what? X squared times 1 over 2 should give you 2 raised to power what? 1 times 1 over 2. Let's just use that. Okay, then you have what? X is equals to 2 raised to power 1 over 2. So which implies that what? X is equals to square root of 2. In the question, they are asking you to find the non-zero. So we are not getting 0 here. So the answer will be what? X is equals to what? Non-zero positive. So that will give us, that implies that x is equals to what? Plus root 2. That's how to solve this. Let's move to the next question. To the second question, which is very simple, find the value of 5x plus 2y if minus 2x 3 minus 1 A close bracket 1 2 is equals to y 3. Look at this matrix very well. Okay, so you have 2 by 2 square matrix multiplying 2 by 1 matrix. So this one is a rectangular matrix and it is vertical. When you multiply them together, you are going to get a rectangular matrix, a vertical one, okay, which is 2 by 1. Now what you just need to do in solving this type of question is you find the multiplication of this matrix and this matrix. So when you get your answer, you can use it to find the value of x and y. Then you can substitute for x and y here. Let's see how to solve that very fast. So let's divide this into 2. Let's have the solution here. Solution to multiply minus 2x 3 minus 1. You want to multiply it by this guy 1 and 2 here. Don't forget, when you want to multiply this, row against column. So you have this multiply by this first. So let's go. So you have minus 2, you have this minus 2 times 1 plus you have this 3 multiplied by 2 here, 3 times 2. Let's just put it, let's put it here. Okay, now you move to the next row, which is this. So you have x times 1 here. So you have x times 1 plus you have minus 1 multiplied by 2 here, minus 1 multiplied by 2. So you can close it like this. So let's see what we are going to get. Minus 2 times 1 here. So you have minus 2. Come over here. So you have plus 3 times 2. You have 6. Now come to the second row. You have x, which is x times 1x. Then you have plus minus 1 times 2. You have minus 2. So this is also what? Minus 2 plus 6. So let's write it this way. So you have minus 2 plus 6. And then you have what? X minus 2. Okay? Finally, so you have, what is minus 2 plus 6? You have 4 or plus 4. X minus 2. X minus 2 here. 4x minus 2 should be the same thing as y and 3. So let's compare and contrast. So which means y is equals to 4 and x minus 2 is equals to 3. So when you solve this, so which implies that x is equals to what? 3 plus 2, which is equals to 5. So we have gotten the value of x and y. So let's just go ahead and substitute the value of x and y into that. So you have 5x plus 2y will give you what? 5, you open bracket. What is x? 5 plus 2, what is y? 4. 5 times 5 here, you have 25, plus 2 times 4 here, you have 8. 25 plus 8, that's 33. So you have 33. Very fast. To the third question, which is very simple, a matrix P has an inverse 1 0 minus 3 1. Find P. How do we solve this? This is very simple. You can use the relationship between the multiplication of inverse of matrix and a matrix. You know that it's going to give you what? Identity matrix, a unit matrix. So that is what we are going to use to solve this question. So let's have a solution here. Now you are given the P inverse, so which is given as what? 1 0 minus 3 and 1. That is what you are given in the question. Now you recall that P multiplied by P inverse should give you what? Identity, or should give you a unit matrix. A unit matrix of what? Order 2 by 2, because P inverse is 2 by 2. So P will also be what? 2 by 2. So don't know the value of P. So let's say P is equals to A, B, C, D. We don't know it. We already know the value of P inverse. And I2 times 2 is equals to what? Let's write the matrix. 1 0 is 0 1. So let's put them inside this expression. So what is P? You have A, B, C, D multiplied by what is P inverse 1 minus 3, 0, 1. It should give you what? 1, 0, 0, 1. So let's do multiplication of matrix here. Don't forget row against colon. So let's have the first one, A times 1. So you have A. Let's write it here. So you have A. B times 0 plus B times 0. That's plus 0 for that one. Okay. Move to the next column. So you have A times minus 3 here. So you have minus 3A. B times 1 here plus B. Minus 3A plus B. So we multiply these guys together. So this one is very simple. Now you come over here as well. C multiplied by 1, you have C plus D multiplied by 0, that is 0. Then you come over to the second one here. C multiplied by minus 3, so you have minus 3C plus D multiplied by 1, D. Close brackets, and everything should give you what? 1, 0, 0, 1. So let's equate this. So it implies that what? A plus 0 is equals to 1. So A is equals to 1. We got the value of A. So we can easily get the value of C as well. Plus 0 is equals to 0. You just need to equate that. So it implies that what? C is equals to 0. Okay. Now we have what? Minus 3A plus B is 0. You also have minus 3C plus D is 0. You've gotten the value of A, isn't it? So just go ahead here, talking about this. Let's label it equation 1 and equation 2. So we already know the value of A, isn't it? We know the value of C. All right, let's just put them inside that equation. You get the question. So you have minus 3. What is A? 1. You substitute plus B should give you 0. So you have minus 3 plus B is 0. Finally, you have what? B is equal to 3. Gotten B. So using equation 2, come over to equation 2. What are you going to do? Substitute the value of C. C is what? 0. So you have minus 3 multiplied by 0 plus D is equal to what? 0. So finally, what are you going to have here? 0 plus D is equal to 0. So implies that what? D is equal to 0. So what will now be the matrix P? So P here, which is, you open bracket here, A, B, C, D. The color of the pen. What is A? A that we have solved. A is 1, so you have 1 here. What is B? 3. What is C? 0. What is D? 0. So this is the matrix. This is how to solve this question. The fourth question, which is find the value of x, y, and z in the equation below using 3 different methods. So we have x plus 3y plus 2z is equals to 3, 2x minus y minus 3z is equals to minus 8, 5x plus 2y plus z is equals to 9. This is simultaneous equation involving 3 unknowns, so we want to use 3 different methods. So the first method we are going to use is determinant. So let's have the solution. So we have the first equation, the second equation, the third equation. Now the first thing is to have the augmented matrix. So let's just form augmented matrix from all the sets of equation. This is going to be our augmented matrix. It's very simple. To write the augmented matrix, you just come over here for x, you write x at the top. So this is going to be 4 by 4 square matrix. Okay, you have your x at the top. You write all the coefficients of x here, you write it beneath it, so making x colon. You do the same thing for y, you do the same thing for z, and then you do the same thing for the constant, which is the answer. Okay, now look at the constant here. You have 3 minus 8, 9. Okay, now look at that of z. You have plus 2, which is 2 here. You have minus 3, you have 1. Look at that of y. You have 3. The first one here is 3. The second one here is minus 1, coefficient of y here, and the third one is 2 here. And the same thing applicable to x. You have 1, 2, and 5. That is the augmented matrix. Now, to use determinant method to solve this question, just calm down, it's very simple. You use this formula to solve this set of linear equation. Okay, your x is going to be x naught determinant divided by c naught determinant. The same thing with y. Y would be what? Minus y naught determinant divided by c naught determinant. And for z, we are going to get z naught determinant by d naught determinant. So what is all these x naught, y naught, d naught, and z naught? They are very simple. Now, x naught, the matrix that you get when you delete x colon. The same thing applicable to y. When you delete y colon, you get y naught matrix. When you delete z colon, you get z naught matrix. And when you delete the constant, which is the answer, the colon, you get c naught matrix. Okay, now start finding the value of all these determinant. The first one, let's find x naught. So x naught is going to give us what you have. Open your bracket like this. You delete the x colon. When you delete the x colon, you are left with 3 minus 1, 2, and then you have 2, you have minus 3, you have 1, then you have 3 minus 8, then you have 9. So we can have it close this way. Now let's quickly find the determinant very fast. If you don't know how to find determinant very fast, kindly watch my video, watch this playlist. So we have x naught determinant will give us, so you pick plus here, minus, then you have plus here. So you pick 3 being the first one, plus 3, then you can multiply this, minus 3 multiplied by 9, so you have minus 27. Now you have minus on this, minus 8, so you have minus 8, that is 8 times 1, so that is plus 8, so you have plus 8, you close it. For this minus 2, you have minus 2 here, you open bracket, you delete this colon, you have minus 1 times 9 here, you have minus 9. Because of this minus that is on 8, it becomes plus 8 times 2, that is plus 16, you can have it close. Then you have plus 3 here, open bracket. Now you delete the colon for 3, so you have minus 1 times minus 1, so you have minus 1. So because of this minus 3 here, it becomes plus minus 3, that is plus 3. Plus 3 times 2, that is plus 6, so you have plus 6 here. The next step is, so we have minus 27 plus 8, so that is minus 19. Minus 19 times 3, that is minus 57. Minus 57. For this guy over here, you have minus 9 plus 16, that is plus 7. Plus 7 times minus 2, you have minus 14 here. Now for this guy, you have minus 1 plus 6, that is 5, or plus 5 times 3, that is 15, so you have plus 15. So when you do this, so you have 1 minus 14 plus 15, so you have 1. Okay, minus 57 plus 1, we now have minus 57 plus 1, which is equals to minus 56. And why not is, just look at this, let's delete y here. So when we delete y, we have 1, 2, 5, so we have 2 minus 3, 1, then we have 3 minus 8, 9 here. So that is the value we have here. So let's quickly find y naught determinants. Y naught determinants, you pick, put plus, minus, plus. So you pick the 1, you open the bracket. Now minus 3 times 9 here, you have minus 27. Because of this minus here, it becomes plus. Plus 8 times 1, you have 8, you have it close. You have minus 2 here as well, so you have your minus 2, you open bracket. Now you delete the colon, so you are left with 2 times 9 here, you have 18. Because of this minus here as well, it becomes plus. Plus 8 times 5, that is 40, so you can have it close. Finally, you have your plus 3 here, so you open bracket. For plus 3 here, you have 2 times 1 here, 2. Okay, now because of this minus here, it becomes what? Plus 3 times 5, plus 15, we can have it close. So why not determinant? Minus 27 plus 8. Minus 27 plus 8, that is minus 19. Minus 19 times 1, so you have your minus 19 here. 18 plus 40, and that is going to be 58. 58 times 2, that is 116. So you have minus 116. Then you have 2 plus 15 over here, that is 17. 17 times 30, that is 51. So you have plus 1. Minus 19 minus 116 plus 51. So at the end of the day, we are going to have minus 84. So we have minus 84 over here. So we are done with why not determinant. The next one is, let's quickly find that of Z naught. So what will be the Z naught here? Just come over here, you delete the colon for Z naught. When you delete it, so you have this matrix here, you have 1 2 5, so you have 3 minus 1 2, then you have 3 minus 8 and 9, so you have it here. So what will be the value of Z naught determinant? Z naught determinant, very fast, so you can have your plus minus plus here, so you have plus 1 outside. You multiply these two guys together, you have minus 1 times 9 here, you have minus 9. Because of this minus here, minus minus, okay, making plus, so you have plus 8 times 2 plus 16, you have it close. You have your minus 30 outside here. Now for the minus 30 here, you delete the colon, so you have 2 times 9 here, you have 18. Because of this minus here as well, it becomes plus, that's 8 plus 8 times 5, that's plus 40. You can have it close. So you move to this plus 30 again. For this plus 30, you have your plus 30, you have open bracket. Now you have 2 times 3 here, you have 4. Because of this minus as well, it becomes plus. So that is 1. 1 times 5, 5. So you have your plus 5 here. Alright, let's quickly solve this. Minus 9 plus 16, that is 7, plus 7 times 1, 7. 18 plus 40, that is 58. So we now have 58 times 3. That's 150 plus 24. 174 minus 174 here. Now to this side, 4 plus 5, that is 9. 9 multiplied by 3, you have plus 27. 9 times 3 is 27, so you have plus 27. So we have 7 minus 174 plus 27. So we have 7 plus 27, that is 34. Okay, minus 174 plus 34, that will give us minus 140. So we are done with Z naught. Finally, let's find the value of C naught. Let's draw this. Recall, we delete the colon. So when we delete the colon, we have 1 2 5, we have 3 minus 1 2, then we have 2 minus 3 and 1. We can close it. So let's find the determinant. To find the determinant, don't forget plus minus plus here. So we have C naught determinant will be what? You have 1 outside here, open bracket, minus 1 times minus 1, you have minus 1. Because of this minus, it becomes plus. Plus 3 times 2, you have 6, you have it close. Then you move to this guy, you have minus 3, so you can have your bracket open, minus 3 here, you have a bracket open, you delete this colon, you have 2 times 1 here, you have 2, okay. Then you have, because of this minus here, it becomes plus, minus, that's plus 3 times 5, you have 15, have it close. Finally, you have plus 2, you open bracket, so 2 times 2 here, you have 4. Because of this minus, it becomes plus. Okay, that's plus 1 times 5 plus 5. Now let's solve it. So our C naught determinant will give us minus 1 plus 6, that is 5. 5 times 1, 5. 2 plus 15, that is 17. 17 times minus 3, so you have minus 51 here, and you have 4 plus 5, that is 9 times 2, that is 18, plus 18. So you have 5 minus 51 plus 18, that is minus 28. So we have, which is equals to minus 28. So we've gotten all the determinants. So let's go ahead and start finding our answers.
To find x, you use this formula, okay? Determinant of x naught divided by determinant of c naught. So, and that is going to give us what? X is equals to minus 56 divided by minus 28, and that is equals to 2. So this is x. So you use this formula to find y as well. So you have minus y naught determinant divided by c naught determinant. So y is equals to minus 84 divided by minus 28, and that will give us minus 30, because minus 84 divided by minus 28 is 30. Because of this minus, you now have minus 30. To find z, you use this formula. Z is equals to z naught determinant over c naught determinant. So you now have minus 140 divided by minus 28, and that will give us 5. So we can see here that x is equals to 2, y is equals to minus 30, and z is equals to 5 as well. So we are going to use other method to solve this. Make sure you watch the next video, which is quotient elimination method and inverse method. If you haven't checked out my channel, kindly check out my channel, like my video, share my video, comment your view about this video. And I also have on this channel mathematics, physics, and chemistry in my native language, Yoruba language. Endeavor to subscribe and watch those videos. Bye for now.